What is going on, everyone? It's Nero again, and here for you some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 playing some Domination. This time on the map raid using a Vector, and it's playing with full party subs here. It's a pretty good game, so it's actually funny. Typically, when I play Black Ops 2, I make sure that my primary weapon and my secondary weapon match. I like them to both have the same camouflage, so typically I'll use like the DLC camouflages a lot because I clearly have those for both weapons. I use the B23R mainly as my secondary, and if I don't have a certain camo for my B23R, I won't rock that camo on my primary. And while I'm sitting here trying to like match up camos before the game started, and so my Vector has no camouflage, whereas I think I have graffiti on my B23R. That's how this went down. But it's a pretty good game of Domination, playing with the full party subs, and you guys see it. Typically when I play Black Ops 2, it's with subscribers. I don't always play Black Ops 2, but when I do, I play with subscribers. And it's a good game. I think you guys will enjoy it. But welcome to my 700th video on NerosCInema. It's actually funny. People are like, oh, you need to do something special for your 700th video. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, that would make sense if this were actually my 700th video. Because I run two channels, for those of you who don't know. I run NerosCInema and I run Nero's Let's Plays. I may be a little bit less active on Nero's Let's Plays, but I have about 250 videos over there. So, and actually, if you count the videos I have unlisted, like I've uploaded quality tests and private videos where I like to share with people on Twitter and whatnot. If you were to take my public and unlisted videos from both NerosCInema and Nero's Let's Plays, I have 991 videos. This is actually number 992. I've made lots of videos in my time here on YouTube. But all in all, this is my 700th upload to NerosCInema, my 700th public video on NerosCInema, and I had no idea what to do with it. I had a bunch of different requests. Everyone says to do something special for this video, and I took it a couple different ways when people say that. I'm like, well, does that mean the rest of my videos suck when it's not a 100 video milestone? Like, what do you define as a special video? I've done just about everything. I mean, it's 700 videos. I've done a lot of things. Like, if you want a montage, I did 2 last week. You know, I've done like 20 montages overall. Do you want a Q&A? Oh, well, I do Dear Nero. It's a weekly series. I have about 40 episodes. Do you want the setup video? I did one a long time ago, and it hasn't really changed. I'm still in the same room. A couple cosmetic changes. I have a new PC. I have dual monitors now. But other than that, it's really more of the same, so I don't really do an updated setup video. It's, I don't know, like, I'm like, what do you define as a special video? I mean, I feel as though, I like to take the Lefty approach. If you guys don't know Lefty, he is a guest. Well, I guess he's really a main person on Painkiller already right now, the podcast. And when he did his 1000th video, I'm subscribed to him, I saw his 1000th video, he basically said, people wanted him to do something special, but he feels as though every one of his videos is special. Because at the time, when he puts the video up, at that time, that's the best video he knows how to make at that time. And just know that every one of his videos are the best thing he can make, and that he enjoys every video he's put up. And that's basically the approach I've taken with my videos. And I feel as all of mine are special. But one of the suggestions I got for my 700th upload here in NerosCInema was to do a Draw My Life. And I'm very bad at Microsoft Paint. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I post like things on Twitter. I post pictures and stuff. Drifter actually used one of my paintings in one of his videos at the very end. I think it was a DSR-50 in-depth episode. He asked for some graphic work, and I'm like, I got you, man. I got paint. What do you want? And he's like, from you, I would like to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex trying to pick its nose. And I drew this amazing portrait in Microsoft Paint of a T-Rex trying to pick its nose, and he thought it was funny enough to put in his video. But the reason he put in his video is because it was so bad, it was funny, right? I'm not very good at drawing, especially in Microsoft Paint, so I think a Draw My Life wouldn't turn out that well. But what I can do for you guys is I can give you pretty much just the scoop on my life story in this video, and a lot of people may already know a lot of this stuff, but chances are a lot of you don't. So let's start on with this. My name is Joe. I was born in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is it's a semi-big town. It's not nearly as big as Pittsburgh, but it's in northwest Pennsylvania. It's right on the shore of Lake Erie. That's why it's Erie, Pennsylvania. And my mom was in college at the time when she had me, and I was born with it's a condition called, I might mispronounce it. I don't know the entire scoop on it. My mom knows a little bit better than me. She could tell a great story about this, but she's scared to death of speaking in front of a microphone. It's called hydrocephalus, I think. It's basically, you can Google it and you might get some gross images, but I had basically water on my skull, and there's water in my head, and this caused for my head to grow I was what you call developmentally delayed. It caused my head to grow a little bit bigger than what most people would have. I had trouble like with the size of my head and whatnot. As a baby, I had to like be taught to roll over. I couldn't do it on my own. I was in a lot of ways going to become a special needs child. I was going to have that go on the rest of my life. There was a chance because there was this water on my skull. It wasn't on my brain, but if that water were to hit my brain, I would be mentally retarded, like full blown, like in a wheelchair, mentally retarded, cannot do anything for myself. And they were actually, I had to go to all these different therapy sessions, and they were actually planning on doing a surgery which would remove the water from my head and like drain it down to my bladders. I don't understand the entire process. My mom can definitely tell you better than I can. I haven't heard this story in a couple years, so I'm trying to go off memory. But eventually, just one day, it all just drained down my head, and that left me with a slightly bigger head than most people, and for people my age anyway. So throughout like my toddler years, throughout elementary school, I had a slightly bigger head. It wasn't that big a deal, but it was really more of a blessing because I grew ridiculously. I mean, I'm not ridiculously tall. I'm 6'3", and that's pretty big, but I'm 6'3". My body grew. It's a lot bigger than most people, and because of that, my head doesn't look as big anymore. And so that's basically my little hydrocephalus story. But so when I was, I'm gonna say like 6 months or maybe a year old, something similar to that, we moved down to a small town called Titusville, Pennsylvania. That's where my mom grew up, and we moved there instead of living in Erie because she was finished with college, and we moved down here back to where she grew up. And when I was 5, we moved out to a little town called Grand Valley where my parents finally got married when I was 5. When I was maybe 6 months after that, I would have been like 5.5, getting close to 6, my little brother was born. My little brother Justin, he was born. And that was a neat thing. I had a little brother, and my brother and I, we're still pretty close to this day. I mean, I still live with him. We're still pretty close to this day, but we were definitely, like, we lived out in the country in Grand Valley, which we're going to call it the country. If you were to Google pictures of, like, Grand Valley, Pennsylvania, you'll see how small of an area that is. I think it has a population of, like, 200, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. And we were, like, just best friends growing out there in the country, me and my brother. And when I was in 8th grade, my parents got divorced. And we went with my mom, and we moved back to Titusville, and that's where I still live now. I moved to Titusville my entire life. I've been a sports person. I talked about it in a couple other videos. I played baseball, I played basketball, I played soccer, I played football. I don't know if I said that. I played track. I played just about every sport besides like swimming and tennis. That I played just about everything. I golfed. I didn't join the golf team even though that was available to us, but I do golf as well. I've always been a sports person. In terms of gaming, people wonder about my gaming background, gaming history. The first console, well, technically my first thing ever was a Game Boy Color, and I played all the Pokemon games on there. But before that, after that was the Sega Genesis. Actually, it might have been before the Game Boy. I think it was Sega Genesis, then Game Boy, then PlayStation 1, then PlayStation 2, then Xbox 360. That's like my gaming history. Some of the games I would play back then. I played like all the Medal of Honor games for the PlayStation 2, like European Assault. I'm trying to remember all of them. European Assault. I can't remember all the names of Rising Sun. Yeah, there's Rising Sun, which was started off in Pearl Harbor. I played games like that growing up, and like I said, though, when I moved to Titusville here in 8th grade, I started doing sports and whatnot. Then I started hanging out with a lot of people that a lot of people wouldn't consider to be the best people to hang out with. That's just kind of like the crowd I fell into. And as these people like started getting like worse and worse, like it starts off with like smoking cigarettes behind a building or something like that. Then it started going into weed. Then it started going into pills. These are not things I did, but these are things my friends were doing. And as they kept getting worse and worse, and they kept like becoming, I'm gonna say, I don't know what the phrase would be, maybe badder. And, they just kept getting worse and worse, started doing more and more things. I started like drifting away from these people, and basically just started staying home and playing video games more. And when I started playing video games more, that's around the time when World at War came out. And when World at War came out, I was really interested in the game, and so I started searching on YouTube. I wanted to find some World at War sniping tips. That's how I found Hutch, and that's how I found YouTube. And in 2009, I made my first channel. I had my first videos up. Those channels are no longer in existence, but that's how I started here on YouTube. And in January of 2012, I got my channel partnered here in NerosCInema, and here I am. And that's basically, in a nutshell, my life story. It's not a drawn out ridiculously long video. It's not like I'm not gonna give you like a 30-minute life story. That's basically it in a nutshell. If you have any questions about it, I'd be happy to answer it in the comments. It's not I guess my life's an open book in a way, but it hasn't been like the most interesting. I think the most interesting part of my life was I was born nearly mentally retarded, and I think I want to make an entire video about that. Maybe I will in the future, about how every day is a blessing, because I'm trying. You can't see my fingers, but they're about an inch apart. I was that close to being full-blown mental retarded, full-blown wheelchair, special needs, nearly a vegetable. That close, that close, and I'm not. And here I am. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Now you know a little bit more about me and my personal life, I guess. I'm trying to think if there's anything more, but I can't think off the top of my head if there's anything else of note in my life. And I don't think there is. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely be sure to answer that. But hope you guys all enjoyed my 700th video. I know I'm running way over the gameplay, and I probably put filler gameplay on here by now. I didn't plan on this being over 9 minutes, but it definitely is. So hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please don't leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.